Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be looking at something pretty unique,
Yeah, really interesting.
the Indigenous Leadership Opportunity Year,
Or ILLY, for short.
ILOY.
That's right.
Okay, so this is a program specifically for Indigenous people, and it gives them the chance to spend a year at the Royal Military College of Canada,
RMC
RMC.
in Kingston, Ontario.
Okay, so it was like a crash course in RMC and a chance to kind of figure out like, hey, is this for me?
Exactly. You get to experience life at RMC and all it entails.
So speaking of RMC, where's this place and how long does this ILOY program last?
So RMC is in Kingston, Ontario,
Okay.
and it's right on the shores of Lake Ontario.
Oh, wow.
So really beautiful setting. And ILOY runs for one academic year starting in September.
Okay.
So you get the full experience of being at RMC for a whole year.
That's awesome. But how many people actually get to do this each year?
So they select around 25 Indigenous youth
Okay.
each year for ILOY.
So it's a pretty unique opportunity.
Yeah, very much so.
So for those listening who are thinking, hey, this sounds like it's right up my alley, what does it take to apply to ILY?
So first, you need to be Indigenous,
Oh,
First Nation status or non-status Métis or Inuit,
gotcha.
and a Canadian citizen. You need to be at least 16 years old by the start of the program,
Yeah.
and you need to have finished grade 12 or the equivalent.
Makes sense. So you're kind of ready for that next step after high school.
Exactly.
So what documents do applicants need to actually apply?
So there's an online application form,
Okay.
and then you need to put together what's called an ILOY application package and candidate questionnaire.
Oh, wow. That's a mouthful.
It is, but it helps the selection committee get to know you better, your background, your motivations.
So it's not just like grades and stuff like that.
No, they want to know who you are as a person.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is there a deadline for applications or like when do they open and all that?
So applications open in November each year. And although they accept applications until July, they strongly recommend that you apply by the end of February.
Oh, wow. So get on that early.
Yeah. The earlier, the better, gives you a much better chance of getting in.
For sure. So
Yeah.
for the lucky 25 who get in, what's in it for them?
Well, one of the biggest benefits is that you're enrolled as an officer cadet in the Canadian Armed Forces.
What?
Yeah. So you get paid a salary while you're learning.
Wow.
And your tuition and books are fully covered.
That's a perk. No student loans.
Exactly. It lets you just focus on your growth and learning.
Yeah, totally. But let's be real. Waking up early, physical training classes, military drills, it's got to be a bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah, it can be a big adjustment for sure. A lot of the participants have talked about that culture shock going from, a more relaxed high school schedule to a very structured routine.
So it's like boot camp, but for leadership.
In a way, but they do have a really strong support system in place.
Okay.
So you're not just thrown in the deep end. The staff, the mentors, and the cultural support activities are all there to help you adjust and thrive.
So it's challenging but supportive.
Exactly.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But what about the actual learning? What are people doing during ILOI?
So it's a mix of academic, military, and cultural learning experiences.
Okay, hit me with it.
So academically, you're taking pre-university and first-year university courses, and they have something called individual learning plans,
Okay.
which give you like individual and small group tutorials.
Kind of personalized?
Yeah, exactly, to make sure everyone's got the foundation they need.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then there's the military side of things.
Right, so that's where you learn about leadership, teamwork, discipline, all the values of the Canadian Armed Forces.
Also, and does it get to be a bit more fun than just, classroom learning?
Definitely. You get to participate in sports, field trips, and even unique cultural experiences like smudging ceremonies, sweat lodges, and even hand drum making.
Wow, that's a pretty unique experience for sure.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like a lot packed into 1 year.
It is a very full year.
Yeah, and, it can't all be sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges people face during ILI?
Well, aside from that initial adjustment to the structure,
Right,
one of the biggest challenges is being away from family and community for a whole year.
that's true.
Yeah.
ILOI attracts people from all across Canada.
Yeah, it's a big step to move away from your support network.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
That takes a lot of courage.
It does. And that's why they really focus on building a strong sense of community within ILOA, creating a home away from home.
So you're not alone in those challenges.
Exactly. You've got this built-in support system.
I love that. So it's challenging, but they're really focused on making sure people have that support.
Yeah, they want everyone to succeed.
That's amazing.
It is.
So beyond just, adjusting and being away from home, what will a person actually learn in ILOA?
Well, you gain a lot of valuable leadership skills. Your communication and teamwork abilities get a boost, and you develop a deeper understanding of Indigenous culture and traditions.
So it's really hitting all the points: personal, professional, and cultural.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to become well-rounded leaders who can make a positive impact in their communities and beyond.
That's awesome. So let's fast forward a bit. What happens after ILY?
So after completing the program, you have a few options.
Okay.
You can apply to continue at RMC in a degree program as a member of the Canadian Armed Forces under what's called the Regular Officer Training Plan, or ROTP for short.
ROTP, got it.
Yeah. So that's the path to becoming a commissioned officer in the Canadian Armed Forces.
A leader.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about those who might be more drawn to a hands-on approach?
So there's also the non-commissioned member, or NCM path.
Okay.
So NCMs are the experts in their trades within the military.
So like the backbone?
Pretty much, they play a vital role in leading and mentoring other soldiers.
Awesome. So those are kind of the two paths within the military officer through ROTP or NCM. But what if you do ILOY and realize the military isn't for you?
That's totally fine. ILOY is a valuable experience even if you don't end up joining the Canadian Armed Forces.
Yeah.
The skills you learn, like leadership, teamwork, communication, cultural awareness, those are all transferable to a ton of different fields.
So it's not like a one-way ticket.
No, it's more like you're getting this amazing toolkit that you can use in any part of your life.
I love that about this program. It's not just about one specific outcome. It's about giving people the power to kind of choose their own path.
Exactly. It helps you figure out your potential and gives you the tools to succeed no matter what you choose.
That's really cool.
It is a great program.
Before we move on, let's remind everyone listening that we release new deep dives all the time,
We do.
covering a bunch of different topics.
That's right.
So if you're enjoying this one, make sure to subscribe to Timely Trends and News to catch all our latest episodes.
We're passionate about making knowledge accessible and engaging, and we love having you all along for the ride.
We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
And welcome back to the deep dive.
All right, so we've been unpacking all the details about ILY.
We have.
You know, who's eligible, how to apply, even some of the challenges participants face.
Right now, it's time to hear from the people who've actually experienced ILI.
Yeah, let's get into it. What are people saying?
So many participants talk about this powerful sense of community they find within the program.
Okay.
Remember, these are individuals from all over Canada,
Right.
different backgrounds, different experiences, all coming together at RMC.
That's so cool. It's like a microcosm of Canada's Indigenous diversity.
Exactly. And one participant, put it this way: the best part of ILOI is the people you meet. It doesn't matter if you're from the East Coast or the West Coast, we're all Indigenous. We're all here for the same reason.
I love that it's like they instantly have this shared connection,
Yeah, that shared identity creates a strong bond.
and it goes beyond finding community.
Right.
It's also about reconnecting with their heritage.
ILOI gives them a safe space to explore their Indigenous cultures and traditions.
Such a cultural awakening.
For many, it is. Another participant, SC, shared this. I got to learn about smudging in sweat lodges. We go to powwows. And recently, we just finished making our hand drums, and we're going to do a birthing ceremony. You know, a lot of us were deprived of that growing up.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, it's about reclaiming those traditions, that connection to their ancestors.
And with that newfound sense of self comes this desire to give back.
Absolutely. One participant, GE, said, I want to go back to my reserve and encourage the youth to do something with their lives. I want to show them that there are opportunities out there that they can achieve anything they set their minds to.
That's the ripple effect.
Right. It inspires them to become mentors and role models in their communities.
That's amazing. And it goes beyond just Indigenous communities.
That's true.
ILOI also plays a role in building understanding between Indigenous people and the Canadian Armed Forces,
Absolutely.
which is super important given Canada's history.
Yeah, it's complex.
So how does ILOI address that?
Well, it provides a platform for Indigenous voices within the military.
Okay.
It helps challenge stereotypes, bridge cultural divides, and create a more inclusive environment for everyone.
Building bridges instead of walls.
Exactly. And they do this by incorporating Indigenous perspectives into the curriculum.
Like what?
They're teaching about treaties, the history of residential schools, the impacts of colonization.
So they're having those tough conversations head on,
Yeah, acknowledging the past and working towards a better future.
which leads to a more informed and culturally sensitive military.
Exactly.
It's incredible how one program can have such a big impact.
It really is.
It's not just about personal growth, it's about systemic change.
and empowering Indigenous youth to become leaders.
In all aspects of life.
Right, whether they join the military, continue their education, or go back to their communities.
It's an investment in the future.
For sure, for individuals and for Canada as a whole.
Now, for anyone listening who's feeling inspired, there are tons of resources online about ILOY.
Yeah.
You can find info about the application process, read personal stories from participants, and even connect with recruiters.
And of course, subscribe to Timely Trends and News for more deep dives like this.
We're all about exploring new ideas and sharing them with you.
Exactly. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into ILOY.
Now let's shift gears and talk about what happens after ILOY graduation.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
So we've been talking all about ILOY
We have.
and the incredible impact it has.
Yeah.
But as with all journeys, there comes a point where you have to choose your path.
Exactly. And for ILOY graduates, that moment comes after they finish their year at RMC.
Okay.
They've got all this new knowledge and skills, and they're connected to their heritage.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next step.
Right. So what are their options?
Yeah, what can ILOY grads do after the program?
Well, one path, as we mentioned, is to stay at RMC and go for a degree.
Okay.
As a member of the Canadian Armed Forces under the Regular Officer Training Plan, or ROTP.
ROTP?
That's right. And that's how you become a commissioned officer in the CCAF. So a leader.
Exactly responsible for other soldiers.
It's a big commitment.
It is. ROTP is tough. It's academic studies and military training all rolled into one.
But what about those who want a more hands-on approach to leadership?
So there's also the non-commissioned member or NCM path.
Okay, remind me what an NCM does.
So NCMs are the experts in their trades in the military.
Right, the backbone.
Yeah, they mentor and guide other soldiers. They make sure everything runs smoothly.
Awesome.
So if you like hands-on experience and mentorship, that's a great path.
So we've got the two military paths, officer through ROTP or NCM.
Right.
But what if someone realizes the military just isn't for them?
That's totally okay.
Yeah.
ILOY is an amazing experience no matter what.
Okay, good.
The skills you learn are useful in any field: leadership, teamwork, communication, problem-solving, cultural awareness, resilience.
Those are valuable anywhere.
Exactly.
So it's not a one-way ticket to the military.
Not at all. It's about giving you the tools to succeed wherever you go.
I love that. It's all about empowerment.
It is. ILOY is not just about one career. It's about becoming a leader.
Right, and making a difference in your community and in the world.
Exactly. And it's about inspiring others.
Mentoring younger generations.
The building a better future for everyone.
ILY shows what can happen when we create opportunities and celebrate Indigenous cultures and traditions.
It really is an amazing program.
It is, and if you're feeling inspired, tell your friends and family about it.
Yeah, spread the word.
Encourage young people to apply. You can find more information on the Canadian Armed Forces website.
And of course, if you want to dive deeper into more fascinating topics,
make sure to subscribe to Timely Trends and News.
We're always exploring something new.
We are.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Indigenous Leadership Opportunity Year.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep making a difference.